Hey, John and Merle, thought I'd go over a few things on the care and feeding of your Solexes. First of all, when installing or dealing with the fuel fittings in the float bowl cover, always use 2 wrenches, one to stabilize this fitting in the pot metal and the other one to do your wrenching right here. And the reason for that is if you don't stabilize right here, you can rip the threads out of the float bowl cover. Choke mechanism. When you pull the choke on the dash, you are pulling against a whole bunch of linkage. You're pulling against this linkage right here on the choke shafts themselves, and you're pulling straight up, but the choke levers want to come up in an arc. So you're trying to go up this way in terms of the lever, but you're pulling straight up. So it requires a lot of pulling on the choke on the choke knob on the dash. At the same time, you're actually moving your throttle linkage. So and that's what gives you your fast start. And I'm sorry, that's what gives you your fast idle for choking. So if when I pull up here, watch at the same time that this is going to move. Okay, so we got our chokes working properly, and you notice the throttle shaft back there. Throttle shaft moves. And that's your fast idle. And what's activating that is this little teeny tiny screw back here. See if I can get this where you can see it. That little screw right there. The clearance between this screw and the lever underneath there is supposed to be 15 thousandths of an inch. And it's impossible to measure it and get it set up when it's in the car, or it's very difficult. So I'll preset it for you, but you just can, in the future, all you have to do is when you adjust throttle idle speed, it's going to change the orientation of the lever, the little choke screw to the throttle mechanism. So what you can do is go in there and just kind of adjust it enough to where what you're going to do is you're activating this lever here. Let's get down here and show you. Got this lever underneath here. So here's your choke lever coming down here. It works on this cam right here. This is a cam, and it goes all the way over here and up here and back to, see if I can even show you, back to this guy right there. And that's what you're operating when you're pulling on your choke knob on the dash. And that's why there's so much tension on it, why it's so difficult to pull. Anyway, so you theoretically can adjust these. In fact, I got this one here. I adjusted it. Need to snug it down. I was adjusting these levers. You can theoretically adjust these levers to where you can move the lever in and out to help orient it towards the plumb with the wire coming down from the air log, which is what secures the choke cable to the carburetors. In addition, while you're at it, you install the carburetors loosely to where they flop up and down a little bit. They can move a little bit, and then you put your air log in place. Then you do a final snug on the carburetors themselves. And then test to make sure the air log will come off and go on, because there's enough movement on these carburetors up and down, left and right, that if you bolt them in place, the air log is not going to go on the studs, which I'm going to install later on. But you need to pre-fit your air log before you do your final tightening. In terms of adjustment, got 2 adjustments. One's the idle speed, and one's the idle mixture screw. This idle mixture screw is a dummy. Don't need to touch it. It doesn't do anything. The hole has been plugged. And this idle mixture screw is the one that John's going to adjust when he puts these on your engine. And you're going to tune it to your engine. And what you're going to do is screw these in and screw them out. Screw them in, the engine will start to die. Screw it out, the engine will pick up speed, and then it'll start to die. And what you can do is get the midpoint, blip the throttle so that you're not running too lean. If you're running lean, you're going to get a backfire. And that's what you do. And this one here, you get to set your idle speed. I'll set it for you, but at about 700, 800 RPM, but you can set it to anything that you want. The point being that you want to, whenever you move this screw, you move the screw on the second carburetor the same. And what you're doing is you're actually increasing the opening of the throttle of the butterfly and increasing the airflow. And so what you want to do to use this tool right here to measure the airflow, and so you can synchronize the airflow through both carburetors. This is your synchrometer, and you want the BK1-35 kilograms per hour, because right out of the box this fits perfectly on these carburetors. The second barrel is not in use until about 3,500 RPM, and then the vacuum from the first barrel goes through here to this vacuum cell and opens up the second barrel. So what you want is for the second barrel to not be processing any air, and that's where all the effort came from with the machine work, making these things to where it would not process any air when you're idling, because you only idle on this first barrel of each carburetor. Let's see what else I need to mention here. Clean fuel, got to make sure you got clean, fresh fuel. And if you see any brown sediment in the float bowls, that's not dirt, that's rust, and you need to address that immediately. Most likely you'll just need a new gas tank. The oxygenated fuels we have nowadays are just horrible. Let's see, what else can we do? Well, let's see, I guess we can just let's just try choking it and start this started, see what we got. Oh, cold engine, by the way. See how it's working the throttle? Now we're going to, you can't tune it until you get it warmed up, so we got to get it warmed up. So set a fast idle and get it warmed up. And you'll want to disconnect your linkage so that you can tune each carburetor individually. And you notice the RPM change, that's because the linkage is not set up properly. That's very difficult to do, and I just have this rough set up, but that's part of what you get to do. Let me see, I got to adjust my muffler. All right, so disconnect that so the carburetors are flowing independent of each other. And we check our synchrometer. You notice the needle did not move. All right, put that needle, close that butterfly. And we're going to adjust this little set screw back here. Little set screw right here, so that this follower right here puts pressure on the second barrel and closes it. That's what keeps this thing from. So this is, I don't have this set yet, so we're going to do that right now. And what you do is you're going to hold your throttle linkage, and we're going to screw down that set screw to where we don't have almost no play. In terms of the second barrel, yeah, see, now it doesn't move. And you want to, but you don't want to screw it down too tight, because if you screw it down too tight, it starts to artificially open the first barrel. So get that adjusted. It isn't tight, but it has just a little bit of pressure on it. Hear the difference? Just a smidge. And yet the adjusting of the throttle right here, or the RPM, will impinge on the this little set screw back here. So you have to go back and forth and adjust them. You've got a jammed screw on the right side, and on the left is the adjusting screw. So you loosen the adjusting screw. So what you do is you're going to loosen that screw right there, loosen this screw, and then you adjust this one, and then tighten this one back up. That jams this one in place. Okay, got minimal movement there. And next, we're going to make sure these are disconnected. Again, disconnecting the throttle. Now we're going to measure our airflow in the first barrel and get those synchronized. We're running this. Okay, got 6 there, 6 there. Now if you want to a slower idle, back it out. Back it out a half turn. Back it out a half a turn. And running 4.5, almost 5. 4.5, almost 5. That's how you do that. Now it's running about 500 RPM, a little low, but I'll give you an idea how nice the carburetors will operate. So we're going to back it up to, run it back up to where it was, about 700 RPM. Check our synchronization, 6, almost 6.5, 6, just a little bit more here. A little bit more. And get this back so that we can see it. And about 6.5 there. 6.5 there. Synchronized. Now then, we're going to do our idle mixture screw back here. Right here. You'll hear the difference in the engine operation. Screwing it in. Starting to lose our idle. Backing it out. So it starts to run really nice. That's too far out. Back in a little bit. And this is all sense of you just feel the engine, how it operates, and you listen to it. Gears start to go die. And you keep going all the way, it'll die. Back it out. It's too far. Too much. There we go. Sounds pretty good. Let's rev it up. And make sure your throttle linkage is all set up and you'll be good to go. I'm going to do a few more cold starts and double check everything, but I think we got you a good set of carburetors. Thank you for your patience.